right, Sasquatch. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
As I said, I found out today that I have COVID. So if anyone is watching and I appear pale or sweaty, that would be why, or a little out of it. But I'm super stoked for you guys to be on the podcast. I'm a huge fan, and I'm even more excited to know that you guys have new music coming out, and we're gonna play a song a little bit later in the podcast. So thanks again for being here. It's awesome.
Finally.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of COVID, I think that maybe you told me that you had this record kind of already basically done a while back, right? And it was just kind of kept getting postponed, or was that a vinyl thing, or what was that?
It was done the December pre-COVID. It was done pretty much, not mixed.
Yeah, we finished mixing it like I think in
At
March,
December.
right as COVID was hitting.
Right as it was hitting.
2020.
Literally right as it was hitting, we were like, "Oh, we're done."
Yeah.
We're not.
And that's when we had to. Is it a we or did I was like, no, we can't put it out.
It was a you.
I was like, no, we should probably shelve it and wait till things sort of blow over or see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I think when we were planning on doing it, some the records I was super excited about, like the Elder record was coming out, the King Buffalo record was coming out, and then listening to those were great new releases, and they couldn't tour on them, so I was sort of thinking, oh, we're going to do the same thing, and then we're not going to be able to play for
Right.
who knows how long.
We put a record out so we can tour a lot.
And so I was like, oh, can we shelve it? Or maybe I said,
but actually,
we've been
really,
trying to.
towards the end, though, it ended up being a vinyl thing where we were waiting because the backlog of people trying to get
pushed
vinyl done.
Yeah. I mean, I think the vinyl probably affected things more than COVID for a lot of bands, because it was like the wait period was up to like, I don't know, a year at some point for vinyl. It's crazy.
Find other channels to go do it. We did.
Yeah.
Gas found. I should say.
yeah, we only like the same distributor that I think every record label and band uses. We use a broker, Pirates Press, and I think a lot of folks use Pirates Press, but they all go to one company in the Czech Republic for where the plant is actually at, and that's where you were saying, it's like a year out. We sourced all of our covers and all the packaging here in the US. The only thing they had to do was actually print the vinyl, and we sort of in compromise limited the color choices available for vinyl to keep the turnaround quicker.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do like splatter. He's like, oh, if you want to do splatter, it's going to be like 8 to 12 months. But if you do it this way, we did like a purple cloud type thing. Like we can get it to you in 3 or 4 months.
That's not too bad.
So
we're still waiting to put it out. So let's just do it.
So do you feel like you guys are super consistent in your albums. I feel like there's no like,
well, we'll see. Listen to this one first, and then we can.
Well, I was going to say that, has your own like writing process or the music that you're making now, or if you're writing new material now, has it changed from that because it was so long ago? But then I was like, I don't know, you guys are pretty consistent in most of the music you put out.
I kept telling people, I'm like, yeah, this sounds different. And like my friend the other day goes, it's not different at all. It sounds just like all your other records. So I'm like, I don't know. I think we put some keyboards in some places we didn't normally. I don't know. It sounds different.
Yeah.
But Cass, there's one thing that's different. That Cass actually wrote usually I'm the chief riff writer, just being a guitar player, and just the way it is. And we all write together. But Cass actually had just the first time, which is a big thing, that he actually brought a song completely done, and we just made it Sasquatch, which was cool.
Yeah. So do you think that Fever Fantasy, I don't know if we've said that yet, it's called Fever Fantasy. Do you think that it's different in any real way than some of your older stuff?
Just for that one reason, that it sounds to me, when I hear Cass's, I'm sorry, it's our song, but I'm saying it's one that you primarily wrote. To me, it sounds a little bit of, not a departure, but just sounds a little different in a great way.
Yeah.
But it does sound different because he was the chief songwriter there, and so it went a different way, and I came up with the lyrics, and I don't know. I think it's a great song. So it's kind of for me, and then we did some different things a little bit. Riggs has a huge influence in the way we write differently now too, and we're all into different things at a lot of different times,
right?
And so it is. We have different ideas. Different influences at any different.
I will say, like when we're writing stuff and getting songs together, I don't think there's no boundaries. We're not channeled between two boundaries that we have to. No, it's got to sound sort of like.
I try to do that though. I do try to do that.
But I mean, for the most part, it's like it just happens. It's a product of what we are doing at that time. So it is, in a way, a little bit different.
Well, it is, because everybody's idea is very important, and we all listen to everybody's ideas. And honestly, some of the ideas that I disagree with end up being the best ideas later on.
Often.
Well, it's true. It's true. I mean, I listen to these guys. I respect their opinion, and it's good because I'm kind of a little of my thing. I like it my way.
Yeah.
But so it's great. I'm sorry, I say it that way. I love all their ideas because it makes me think different ways, and I think it's worked for them.
Even though he'll argue to death about
I'll argue to death with it. Trust me, but
a lot of the bands that I've had on here, you know, if they had to like postpone an album during COVID, they've already written the next record, but they're like now like promoting that last one still. So have you guys started writing new material for the next one after this already, or
been playing songs from the record after this record already live?
Yeah.
On the last tour we did, first song we played every night was from the record that we haven't even recorded yet.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we're in that place where we're way ahead of the last record already.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad place to be in. Then you can just kind of go into the studio and put it down, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
In theory.
It's
Sasquatch, so we work on
a little slower.
That's why I say geologic time.
Yeah.
It was like.
So when did the first record come out? Was that like 2004 or 2005 or something like that?
Yeah, 2004.
August 2004.
I've always been really curious about like kind of the stoner rock scene and stuff back then, because I didn't really know that a lot of this music even existed at that point. I was listening to like Metallica and Megadeth or something at the time. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
when you were putting that stuff out at the time, I mean, was it stoner rock? Did you consider it stoner rock? Was it just hard rock? Do you consider yourself stoner rock even now? I mean, do you just look at it differently?
I just called it stoner rock then because I don't know. It seemed like there was a website that said stoner rock, and all the bands I was listening to were on it. So I guess I was, I love Black Sabbath and those kind of bands. So I guess we're stoner rock, but I never really thought of it as so much of a stoner rock band because we're more like on the rock and roll side of it, I think.
Yeah.
And more like AC/DC mentality, but with like stoner stuff in it.
But the term stoner rock was pretty 90s. And then a lot of people were, no way, man, don't call your band stoner rock. It has a stigma. Right. And then in the 2000s, it kind of came back in a way where with less of a stigma to call it that,
Yeah. I think part of that was like Caius and Fu Manchu and stuff was so stoner rock.
Right.
But then Josh Homme like made some statement about Queens at the time where it was like, don't call us stoner rock. We're not stoner rock. We don't have to be stoned to listen to this music.
I remember that. I was like, it was probably right around because I remember reading the article, and I was in a funny way. I was like, "What do you mean? You guys are totally stoner rock. Don't knock on the scene, whatever." And in my stupid little mind way back then,
right?
Yeah,
because I thought it was you got to be stoner rock. I mean, that's what we do. We do stoner rock.
Yeah,
I don't know.
A lot of the bands and people just that I've gotten to know over the last year of Slightly Fuzzed and whatnot. Whenever I'm talking about bands that we liked or essential albums or influential albums to us in like a stoner rock capacity, I mean, Sasquatch always gets brought up. Are you guys like kind of aware of like your spot in stoner rock and stuff? No,
we're always surprised if people buy our records. No, I mean, it's flattering. I mean, it's great, but sometimes we're like, does anybody like
There's a certain thing that comes in longevity, of Keith having this doing since 2004, maintaining the band and keeping the band going. So, you kind of get some of it comes from just the longevity factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Yeah, you can't you're not
can't get away from us.
Can't get away from us, man. I'm doing it till I can't move anymore.
Yeah. I was listening to a Rogan podcast because the Black Keys were on it. And they were asked about like putting their songs in commercials because that was a big thing when they first started putting their music in commercials because they were kind of like this blues band and they were looked at as like sellouts and stuff like that. But I was told that you guys had a song or two in like a TV show or a movie or something.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff on TV shows.
Really?
Through Smallstone, Scott Hamilton was pretty good at getting like Sons of Anarchy and then Road Rules Challenge. And
really, I mean, I've watched Sons of Anarchy. I had no idea.
Bam, Bam's on Whole Unit, the Dudesons, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Dog the Bounty Hunter was a big one.
Jeez, Live in Lahaina. Sons of Anarchy. We were on 2 episodes.
Wasn't it a Chevy commercial or something like that?
Well, we were supposed to get a Chevy commercial, and they wanted a song that sounded like Norwegian Wood, and we didn't have one of those, so we didn't get it. But we were up for it. It was going to be, whatever. I don't know if it's sellout. I mean,
no, I mean that was the whole thing with them was like,
we do it if we can't pay our bills.
Yeah. I mean that was their whole point too. They were like, I don't know. I mean, maybe at that point, at that time, it was looked at as like this selling out thing, but nowadays I don't think that anyone really cares. Plus, they were like, yeah, we got paid for it, and we have to get paid at some point. So like, what
For a few years, the Black Keys were the most profitable band in music.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure.
Two of them. They write everything. They maintain all the rights to everything. So it's not like, Katy Perry maybe is selling more records, but she didn't write the fucking song, and so it's like they writing everything, getting into commercials. They were rolling in some money there for a little while.
Wicked Smart.
Yeah. Wicked Smart.
Everybody takes a promotion, right? It's kind of that thing, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's like, hey, here, would you like more money at your job? Well, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that.
Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's surprising that they picked like kind of this underground stoner rock band for some of that stuff, though, isn't it? Or is it just like they have to pay you less money than some other larger band? I mean, how do they find the music?
Probably the majority of it right there.
Yeah, I think back then too, it was a fairly new thing. So Scott would hand them like a stack of CDs and be like, "Here's all my bands," and they would,
go through it and
pick a bunch of bands.
We just got lucky enough that they happened to pick us a bunch. I mean,
his secret, I think, I'm pretty sure this is the deal, is that he had us all sign off on everything. So it was actually cleared already. And he was one of these people that like had a giant catalog of pre-cleared material. So he didn't like sometimes, I want to use that song. And you have to jump through hoops to try to figure out if you can get the clearance on it, and that could take, 10 days or whatever. So too late.
Yeah. They basically just had, I think they had his whole catalog and they just picked whatever they wanted from
it. A smart move on his part.
Yeah, for sure. And on your part. I mean, I don't know how much you made on it, but at least you got paid something for it. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I still get checks for that.
Massive, but they're
massive. But I still get them every.
Yeah,
I get like there's one place in Spain where they replay Dog the Bounty Hunter, and like all these other places are like 17 cents, and then this one's like, $50. I don't know why that one is $50 every time, but all right.
Yeah, well, it's a neat thing about all the statements. You get to see the entire list of everything that they play
and like where it's played.
Because there's so many TV shows, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like, look at every single time. I'm like, this is great. But even though they'll even have stuff like, I remember one day I was looking at, it was like the Turkish Grand Prix, and like they're playing your song. And it was just a weird place, like the Sasquatch being blared at the Turkish Grand Prix.
That's awesome. That's wild.
Great, I never. It's interesting.
Huh. So you guys are all located in different places too. Is that right?
Now we're all right here.
Yes. Come on, get up.
Come on.
He's having a tough day. So
I'm sorry. That was horrible.
No, I deserve that.
Kat, I'm back in Philadelphia.
We're supposed to be Los Angeles, but no, these guys don't live anywhere near Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Keith was there for many
20
years.
20 years. I'm back on the East Coast just for temporary, I think.
Okay.
I'll decide what planet I want to go to next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked, because I thought someone was in LA, and I mean, it's got to make it difficult recording, touring, planning, practicing, rehearsing, all that kind of stuff. But
it really doesn't create that much of. I mean, it really doesn't. We just pick a time. We all, we're all responsible people. So it's like Cass is like, all right.
Actually, I'm classically late to band practice. Like for my whole life, I've always been late to band practice, and this is the most punctual band I've ever been in, because I actually, if I get on the plane, then I'm there.
Yeah, we got to go.
I'll make it.
We're usually sitting with Cass, so we can't hide from them and not go to practice that night.
We try.
I do have to scrape them out of the bar.
Yeah.
Just the tiki tea.
Yeah.
Now, I know you just got off of a tour with Hi There's a Queen, Texas kind of run. Ryan's been on the podcast a couple times. It's good dude.
Great dude.
Yeah. So tell us about that tour. It sounded like you had fun. I talked to him a little bit the last couple of days, just kind of about you guys being on tour and whatnot.
I realized being on the tour with him all that time is that he's a jerk.
Funny, because he said the same thing about.
I know. He probably said that about
you're all handsome jerks, but jerks nonetheless.
No, they were great guys. The whole band, everybody was awesome. Great band to tour with. Professional.
Guys and girl.
Yeah. Sorry,
Totally.
Guys and girl. But they were great. They were awesome people, and we had a blast with them. And fun people, and now they're good friends of ours.
Yeah, we would do that one again in a minute for sure.
You guys always seem like a Texas band to me for some reason. I don't know why. I always just assumed that maybe it was a Texas band. There's a lot of this kind of music down there. And then I found out that you are not from Texas at all. In fact, multiple places that are not Texas. So it was cool to see you guys go on like a big Texas tour. Looked like it was a good lineup.
Texas for some reason. I don't know. They liked us there.
Yep.
Even since the beginning, it's always been easy there.
Yeah.
Back
They
down
have,
there.
they have a good scene in like stoner rock and metal and stuff right now anyway. So
We know a lot of people down there from all these years too. Like, so even if we just packed the bar with the friends of ours that are in bands, we could probably do that. I mean, we know so many people at this point. It's been 15 years, 17 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Texas barbecue and
barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, barbecue.
Mhm.
Just we're barbecue guys.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I moved down to Austin like 8 years ago. I was down there for a couple years with my girlfriend, and it was awesome. I mean, Austin's the best. I mean, there's so much music, but the barbecue.
What's your favorite?
We went to a place called Friedman's a lot. The line at the other Franklin was way too long, so we never went to Franklin. So we went to this place called Friedman's, which was almost no line, but I thought it was amazing. They had like this like bourbon or whiskey Bloody Mary and then brisket on top of it.
Wow.
Go there and get that every time.
Really go. You can't find bad barbecue down there. It's really hard.
Yeah, really hard to find bad stuff.
Yeah.
So let's play this new song. It's It Lies Beyond the Bay. Anything you want to tell us about the song?
I think we just did.
That's our signal for it.
It lies.
What song are we playing?
It lies.
It lies
beyond the bay.
I don't know. I think it's a song about Moby Dick.
You think?
Well, I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about a really pissed off whale. But I don't know. It didn't end up being really about that. But that's why It Lies Beyond the Bay, right?
It started out as a song about a really pissed off whale and ended up
It's
being about an
always sinking
ex-girlfriend.
to depths. It's always about, same old shit. But initially, it started out as a Moby Dick song. I think I was actually reading the book at the time for the 700th time. I like that book. Anyway.
You read Moby Dick?
Yeah, I don't know. I like that book. I like the
Really? It seems way too long for me.
Yeah. I got a lot of time on my hands.
All right. Well, let's check it out.
Cool.
All right. That was It Lies Beyond the Bay.
All right.
It's good to hear some new stuff from you guys. It's awesome.
What do you think?
I love it.
Cool.
I mean, I don't know that I would call it a departure, but there is something different about it. You know, I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly, but I love it.
Thanks, man. It's just, like I said, it's the same thing, but it just feels a little, you know what it feels like more that like now that like we were actually writing, like, because the last record, you know, we had a lot of it written, and this one is totally written by the three of us. So I feel that that's why it's changed a tiny bit, right? I mean, Riggs was very instrumental in writing the last record, but I don't think he was as
well, some
what's
of
the
the
right word? Like I don't think you were like as so into the songwriting like you are now, because at that time it was still, you still felt like sort of the new guy in a way. So I think he was laying back a little on this one. Riggs, we had a lot of great ideas as well as Cass. So I don't know. I can hear their influence when I hear it. I can totally hear things are tiny different than the way I probably would have done them if it was just left up to me.
Yeah. Maneuvers was actually the first album that I heard. And I was talking to Pat from Monster Riff on a podcast recently, and he had mentioned, I think it was 3, maybe, was like one of his like essential stoner rock albums. And, then we started kind of talking about how a lot of times that first album that you hear is your favorite and kind of what you base everything else off of. And for the longest time, I mean, Maneuvers was one of my favorite records. It was definitely the favorite of your stuff. But I went back after my podcast with him and listened to all the older stuff. And then I did it again in preparation for this podcast. And I mean, it still might be my favorite just because it was the first thing that I heard. But I mean, I had like a new appreciation for everything else that you had also. I mean, I listened to it in like maybe a different way or something like that. And realized that, like I said, you guys are just insanely consistent, and it's all good stuff. So
I love Maneuvers too. It's my favorite easily.
Oh yeah.
I just like the direction it went. It just seemed like a tiny bit from where we were before. So a lot of things were happening.
I think we made a concerted effort to like not have the songs go on. There was like, we trimmed a lot of the fat. We got rid of like
that's
a lot of the things where we might have gone like, well, why are we doing that? You know?
Yeah,
like
18
get
times.
rid of that.
Let's do it 4.
Keep it simple.
Make it interesting.
Like I had a new appreciation for the first record, I think too, and maybe there's like a rawness to it that maybe you guys polished over time. But I really like that first record too, and I don't know that I don't know that I would have put it up there in my list of Sasquatch albums, a year ago. But now I went back and listened to it and was like, this is awesome too. I mean, for being the first album and stuff, it's raw. It's got a lot of energy to it. I loved it.
I was doing a lot of energy things back in the day.
But you
I was
in it, didn't you?
I still don't like that record. Whatever, you know how it is. It's like anything. I'm about moving forward, so I always doing it currently. I mean, I like it. It's not my favorite.
But yeah, we're not. Me and Riggs came in down the road. Like I came
the third
right before, during 3. So to me, like that was like one of those blown out records. I kind of like the production on it because it was like super dirty.
Yeah. Of course, I produced 2, and I was like, well, we're gonna make it so you can hear this one. And so,
and 2, that was sort of when I came in. That was sort of the album that stood to me as the best, like songwriting and produced and everything. So 2 has always been that thing we've been trying to match, because 3 and 4. 3 we came in, or I came in, and I think they were still trying to feel me out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole thing, and then hey now. Yeah, I mean, Cass, it was the same thing. You knew, like everything was just wasn't really. We were gelling, but we weren't gelling the way we are now.
We were playing parts like 18 times, right?
Right.
Maybe we should have cut this off. But that's interesting that Pat said that that was like a record that of all of them he liked the most.
Yeah, I think it was 3, if I'm not mistaken. And again, it might have been the first record he heard, and it just seems that's kind of like the way it works sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, the first record I hear from a band a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean,
even you get sucked into a catalog.
Yeah.
That she'll sort of whatever.
It's kind of the same thing with like you hear a cover song or whatever, or you hear a song and you don't even know it's a cover, and then you like the one you heard first. You could go back to the original, no matter how great it is. It's still so like true. You like the one that you heard first.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
tell me about the artwork for Fever Fantasy, because it's definitely different from your other albums, but it's awesome. It's really gnarly artwork. It's cool.
You know, I don't even know how I came upon it. And we're always looking for new ideas for art. So we work with different artists all the time, and I liked what we did with Maneuvers.
Yeah.
Dr. Zayas, who did the cover, we were looking for that total like pop art sort of feel to it, but super simple and to the point. And so with this one, I was looking for something, I don't know, something that still looked cool, but it was a little different from what we've usually done. Trippy.
Yeah.
Something you could stare at while you listen to the record, you
That's
know, and
the
just sort of
thing.
get lost in it, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I said, the casting, it reminded me, and it dates me, but when Live After Death by Iron Maiden came out, I couldn't stop looking at the cover the entire, like, you know, for the 6 hours of music that's on that record or whatever. I just was constantly finding new stuff in the artwork, and I love those days of reading all the credits, finding out the band, you know, they're friends with Merciful Fate, or, you know, something like that, or whatever it was. Like, I didn't know that, or you'd see all these bands at the bottom that I liked, and I had no idea that Iron Maiden knew, or friends. It was cool to me to just find out all the connections between everybody. So, and that's Kat. I think that's exactly what I said to him last night. I said, I think you nailed it. Like, I just want to look at this record. I don't even know if I want to listen to it. I just want to look at it. I just want to look at the artwork.
Yeah.
I didn't do the cover. That wasn't me.
No, but he
this
was
guy in the
instrumental
Philippines,
in the
Innocent,
whole thing.
does a lot of cool artwork. And I forgot, I ran across him on Instagram. And maybe it was like Brian Mercer from Philly, you know, was friends with him and had liked one of his posts.
Brian's
I was
a
like,
great guy.
so this is something that he had already done, and he was sort of selling his like poster art or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought so I guess the big surprise, which folks won't see, is there's a reveal when you open up the whole cover. It's a bigger piece of art, so it's not just what you see in the cover.
Awesome.
And
it's only half of it.
Yeah, it's only half of it. And we pretty much stole from Hawkwind's Space Ritual, if anybody owns that vinyl, the fold-out cover concept. So it's not a traditional gatefold. It's really a fold-out.
6 panels.
Six
both
panels,
sides.
Fold it back in.
Awesome.
Very cool. You can almost take the record out, put it in something else, and put the album cover up on your wall as a poster.
Right.
Yeah.
Just really cool, you know.
And that was kind of the idea, is to keep it, you know, like old school, so people can look at the cover. And again, sort of taking what Hawkwind did, but because the artwork that was Innocent design was what is it, like portrait format, super long, it wouldn't fit on just the 13 by 13 square.
Yeah.
So doing it using this approach kind of worked and came together. It was a pain in the ass to try to get it manufactured. The old bass player from Sasquatch, who played on 1 and 2, Clay, helped us actually make it work. He works for a printing company, and
he did a great job. Really good job.
Actually came out. I'm shocked that we got it printed.
Yeah.
And it came to realization.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm a huge like art person. I make my own art, and I've always appreciated, especially gig posters and album covers and all that kind of stuff. And it definitely caught my attention. I remember going to the Obelisk when you guys, you know, premiered the track and going like, oh, this is awesome. It was so different from like your other albums and stuff, and it just felt so fresh and different and new. And
colors, I think that just colors work. It's just different. It looks like
very different.
I just want to buy it. I want to buy it for the artwork, even if I don't even know what the band is.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so now I want to do some of the questions. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you have a group of people on Twitter that are hardcore Sasquatch fans.
So what do I want to know?
So
I'm super bad at social media, and Twitter is probably I'm the worst at using Twitter, or I should be on it more, but I'm not.
I reached out to some of them because I know they're huge fans.
Okay.
And I asked them if they had anything that they wanted to ask you.
This is awesome.
So shout out to Rich and Rob in the Hood and Skylab specifically. They are the ones that ask most of these questions. The first one obviously being like, when is a new album coming out? Because I don't think that was public knowledge at the time, which now we all know is June 3rd, right?
June 3rd.
Okay. Then the next question was from Rich. He was asking about a repress of vinyl, particularly for 3 and 4. Is there any plans for anything like that?
Yeah, because of the backup, that is definitely still happening. It's getting it manufactured has been the issue, and we financially do everything now within the band. So we run our own imprint through through Mad Oak Records. So because we have to like upfront all the costs, it was important to get all the money invested in the new record first. So I had to kind of put 3 and 4 slated to come out next after this. So that's sort of next in line. Hopefully we're going to have it by October. We got some big European dates, a longer tour planned in October, and hopefully it'll be ready by then. Assuming I use the same approach I did with the new record, where we're just printing very specific colors, not getting too crazy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yes, it's coming. We're going to get to that.
Awesome. So Rob asked an interesting question, which I had no awareness of, or I don't even know how true it is. He asked something about a possible split with The Age of Truth.
How did that get out? Don't look at me. That sounds like Billy. Billy.
No, we were talking with them about trying to do something. Right?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. They're good friends of mine. I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, I love Billy and they're all Philly.
They were on episode 2 of the podcast, and they were awesome. They were super fucking funny, and it was a great time.
Excellent, guys.
So we met them I met them in Vegas like 4 or 5 years ago. We just started talking at the pool, and I just went, "You're from Philly, I'm from Philly," and then we had just, now we have a friendship. I go over Billy's house and for Derby Day and drink whiskey, and so they're a great band too. Fucking
great. Oh man, Resolute is so fucking good, man. It's so
great band. So it's nice. So I mean I think that's in the
works. I saw them on your show or whatever, and so they were like arguing about who's the funniest. It was funny. I got to get out of that. Yeah. Themselves, like the whole band was on. It was Billy and
Billy's funny, pain in my ass, but funny. I love that guy. He's a real deal. That guy, that's for sure.
They were all really funny, man. It was a good episode.
Great guys.
Yeah, to get your question, I think somehow all these guys you're talking about on Twitter might have hit up Billy and been like, "Hey, dude, you guys should do a split with Sasquatch." And then they tied in Ripple too, because Todd got in the conversation. So we've had the conversation with Todd and Billy, and I think we're gonna do a split.
Super interesting. At the time, it seemed so random because I'm like, well, Age of Truth is from Philly. You guys are in LA. Like, I don't even understand how you guys made the connection to each other. But now realizing that you're in Philly and stuff, now it makes a lot more sense. But that would be a good split, man. That would be a good.
I'd be honored to be for us to put something out together, because they're a great band. Man. I mean, really good stuff, man.
So you like stories? So we're at what was the festival in Maryland? Maryland Doom Fest. And we were up. So there's the one hotel where all the bands party, all night long. We were out there with Age of Truth. It was Billy and
Billy and Mike.
Billy and Mike were both out there partying until it was 4 a.m. And I swear at some point I just had a Irish goodbye. I checked out, and then I remember we had to leave super early, so we got up.
And Mike is still in the parking lot.
And Mike is still in the parking lot drinking out of the back of his car. It was like 7 or 8 a.m. He was super happy too. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
He's the real deal.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a real sweetheart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there are
so no concrete plans for that, but it is possible, huh?
Yeah. Oh no. We just have to record it.
Got to do it.
It's probably more on us, because I think they got their shit together in terms of songs and getting in the studio. So it's on our end to find time to get in the studio and actually.
If only we had a studio.
Yeah,
only we had a studio
sitting right out in our backyard right here.
Right, literally. It would be great if it was within 300 feet of where we're sitting right now.
If only.
We're currently in Boston.
Yeah, we're in Boston.
Yeah.
We're at
Mad Oak
studio
or Mad Oak Studios.
We're lucky to have that. We have a studio that we can go into whenever we need to.
The next question was that the vocals seem like they might be challenging at times. How do you keep your voice in shape?
Yeah. Keith.
Well, I've been often asked this question, and I would have to say I have no idea. I don't know. I would say that I'm lucky. I get lucky. I do. I don't know. These guys after gigs they come over and go, shut up. They don't allow me to talk because that's when I get into trouble. Like after a gig and I start like, hey, what's going on? Screaming over the crowd, and then the next morning I wake up. So
yeah.
And listen to Riggs. I was being a singer too. He's always like, "Shut up! Don't say anything. Go hide. Don't talk to anybody." And it helps.
Couple exercises.
I'm very social,
like
and they got it's hard to just.
You ever run into anything at a show where you just don't have it that night, or you lose your voice, or
Cass?
That one show.
It happened one time. I have to say, it has. I've been very close a few times, but a couple pops of whiskey gets you through that. But there was one time when our sound guy in Germany was like, Riggs, you have to help him sing. He cannot sing. And I struggled through that night. We got through it.
But whenever I actually tried to jump in and sing anything, then made him mad, and he would go over and sing even harder and try harder.
But, and I really mean this. It's a bummer because we're definitely not a band that we think everywhere we go, and I mean this wholeheartedly, that I think everybody deserves the same show. So it really does. It's not a thing like, oh, fuck it, we just don't have the voice in it. We don't. That's not the way we roll.
It grated on you. That was
right. It does. It bothers me because I don't want to let these guys down, and it would, and especially that night, it was a little bit my fault from the night before. I was up a little late. But whatever. I mean, it's hard. When you're in, a lot of people pulling in, they want to have drinks anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't. It happens very rarely, thank God. But when it does, oh God, it's tough. It's tough.
In the band van, it was funny. So I drive. Like commute to work during the day or whatever, and I think so. He's got a honey bear. He's always carrying a honey bear with him.
I drink honey all the time. That's what
the
gets me through a lot of
old school bears or whatever.
Yeah, I just suck it down. Even on stage, if I struggle through it, it'll get you through a performance.
It's sitting in my van in the cup holder like a cup of coffee for this guy. And it's funny. Clay got in the van. Clay, the old bass player from Sasquatch. We were going out to lunch when I was picking up the covers, and he got in the van. He's like, was that for Keith?
I had that thing. The honey gets you through performances, man. It really does.
Yeah, that'll help.
It really will. It'll get you through 30 minutes, man. So,
what band would you like to tour with if you haven't already?
Clutch.
Clutch. For sure.
Any time that we have a chance to tour the Orange Goblin, we love that idea.
There's a lot of bands. I mean, geez.
There's a lot of bands we'd like to tour with because we've never like been what do you call it, like on a package where we're opening necessarily. We're always headlining, so
we'd like to do big, obviously
it'd be good to like
like a bigger band,
get on a bigger band.
Mothership would be fun to do that. So
Mothership, they're good friends of ours.
But it would be fun to do like a run, like Cass just said, like where we're along for the ride and get to just kind of do our 40-minute thing, and that'd be fun
and get the fuck off the stage.
Where did the idea for the slide on bass come from?
Yes, Cass.
Mark Sandman.
No. So I'm a big fan. There's a band from Shiner called
From Shiner.
There's a band from Kansas City called Shiner. Paul Malinowski, great bass player, does a lot of cool things, and I saw him use a slide with like a tremolo pedal to get that sort of back and forth, and I started using it, and I incorporated some other weird effects with it, and it just it helped fill some of the gaps in some of the songs in between, and now I started using it in some of the older tunes where there's like breaks where the bass isn't necessarily playing, or maybe there's like keyboard or something underneath that I could sort of emulate with the slide. So it's all Paul. I ripped off his technique.
Is the Les Paul Custom your favorite guitar, or is there a story behind it?
Yeah, I'm straight up Les Paul Custom guy. I love them. They just play great. They feel great for me. They sound great. They look beautiful. I love all Gibsons, but that one specifically, they just feel great. Just for me, the scale, everything is it fits me perfectly. This is the first really cool guitar I ever got too. My dad bought me one when I was, I don't know, 16. And it was like, you know, it was like getting a Cadillac. It was just beautiful. Because I was playing like Kramer guitars and Charvel back then. Like,
Charvel, huh?
you know, like metal guitars. And I was like, finally, this is like a real professional guitar. And I almost didn't play it for a year, like in my bands back then, because it was like, I didn't even want to take it out of the house. It was just like I didn't even.
Yeah.
Then I started playing it. I was like, oh shit, this sounds way better. But to me, it was so beautiful. I don't want to ruin it, you know? But yeah. And plus my last name's Gibbs. So Gibbs' son, I don't know.
How about that?
Last question is from Ryan Garney. He wants to know if you're still waiting to be served at that bar in Palm Springs.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that the tiki bar?
No, it was
What was it called?
the Hood, the bar we were playing.
Right. Oh, right, the guy. I forgot about that. Yeah, the bartender wasn't so nice to us that night.
You was
Not
fine.
me, well, to me, it was fine.
Horrible to me.
Horrible to
Oh, was it you?
Riggs.
Oh, yeah,
man,
you.
yeah.
I was getting beers left and right.
I actually was like walking around going, "This is insane."
It was a Seinfeld episode, right?
Yeah,
you
he
didn't
couldn't-
tip him.
He didn't tip him.
Well, I what it was is I didn't have money to tip at the time, and I was like, I swear to God, I'm getting some money when I come back. I'll double tip you. I'm sorry about this.
That's a Curb Your Enthusiasm
Right.
episode.
Sure you will.
Right. But then I was like, I think that what I did is I got a beer, and he finally brings the thing over to me, and I gave him $20. And I said, keep it. And then and he didn't even he just walked away. He didn't go, "Oh wow, thanks," or anything. He just walked away.
That seems a little dramatic for a like a $20 tip.
It was the last beer he served of the day. His shift was over, and he walked out.
Oh.
And I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
He was so
I don't
pissed
even get to
off.
rub it in his face.
Riggs
all
doesn't
night.
get really mad much, and that was funny to see. He's like, motherfucker. He doesn't even want the beer now.
This guy, can you believe that I just gave him $20?
Fuck him.
Fucking $4 beer. Here's $20.
Yeah.
It was a dive bar too. So
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like literally, and the guy I think in the 2 seats over smelled like fucking piss because he was a homeless guy, and all the girls were running away from him. Classy place.
I think I do it wrong. One time I was at a diner, and I sat down, and I was waiting for a waitress to come over, and wouldn't come over. I was sitting there probably 15, 20 minutes, and no one even acknowledged I was there. And so finally I'm like, all right, well, fuck this. And I put $20 down and walked out. Because I figured, they'll go like,
Thanks for nothing.
maybe I blew it. This guy might have tipped me huge. But I don't think they're just like, what a sucker. He left $20. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Well, I think I do it wrong.
I was told that you're also a big coffee person. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yep. I roast coffee beans and
Delicious coffee beans. Delicious.
yeah.
He said that you knew all the hot spots to go to get coffee when you're.
I'm a bit of a freak when it comes to that. Yeah.
Every day
like,
on tour, he wakes up.
These guys will like when they get up. I've already got it plotted.
It's
what
already
we're
got
gonna do.
You don't go to that place because I got a coffee there and I threw it in the trash can and I went down the street.
Which is
I
funny.
really like coffee, but if I'm hungover, I can't drink it at all. I can only do water and maybe a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
So like I won't drink coffee on the hangover days at all.
But
yeah,
like
we're all coffee guys.
I'm
big
particular about it when I like a really good cup of coffee, and when you go in and it's expensive cup of coffee and it tastes great, I love that. But at the same time, I love a 50-cent cup of coffee at a diner.
Yeah.
So I'm not like snobby about it as much as, but if you're selling it for $4.50, it better be good.
Right.
So because it's not that difficult to have good coffee,
Right.
But bad diner coffee could be freaking great, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the questions that I have from your fan club.
Thanks, guys.
Those guys.
Yeah. So let's do real or fuzzed.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to show you a series of album covers here, and you got to tell me if they're real or fuzzed, and then we're going to make some of our own here at the tail end of this thing. So this is the first one. Tubby Boots goes topless.
That's real.
It's
Gotta be. It's so ridiculous.
It can't be.
I'm saying no. You're saying yes.
I'm saying real.
I'm saying no.
Fuzzed.
This is real.
Oh my god! Amazing.
Look at that
Yeah.
font.
It's gotta be. Look at that. It's so over the top.
That font.
Poor Jenny.
Oh god, that can't be
please
real.
tell me
That's-
no way.
That's
That's
can't
gonna
be
be
real.
fuzzed.
Jesus.
I don't even think so.
You know
You're
what?
not allowed to do that, right? I don't think.
Well, you
This is a real album cover, and I don't always do this, but I actually went and looked up this song.
is it good?
And it's kind of like an old like rock and roll song. It's not
Holy
terrible.
fucking hell, man!
Yeah,
That's pretty brutal.
That's
Yeah.
devastating.
yeah,
Wow.
that's a real one.
Oh my god. Wow.
Swine and dine, eat me.
I want it to be real.
It's real.
This is fuzzed. I made that one.
Ah,
You're doing pretty
I'm doing pretty good.
Pissed on, Cold World.
Real.
Oh my god.
I think I've seen that cover. I think.
I'm gonna go real.
Yeah, this is real.
Oh boy. This is brutal.
Predator, Easy Prey.
That's not real.
I'm gonna say real.
I'm going real.
This is real.
Logo, man.
I
The
know.
Predator logo?
I'm trying to figure out how his rhythm's going here. You know?
Well, and Ryan, you do all you put together the fuzzed ones too, right? That's all your
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That big propping himself up was genius. That's my favorite cover so far.
Roger Chapman, let's spend the night together.
That's real.
That's real.
No, that can't be real. No real.
This is real.
Oh,
The thing I don't understand about this one is that his name badge says Otis on it.
We don't see that.
Is he Roger Chapman or is he Otis? You know,
maybe it's Roger Otis Chapman.
Oh,
maybe. Wow. Acid Trip, Dark Side of the Backside.
that's real.
I'm gonna say fuzzed.
I gotta say fuzzed.
Yeah, that one's fuzzed.
Getting it together.
Planet Kill, Attack of the Booger Pickers.
Oh, they're kids, right? Of course. Germ factories.
That can't be real.
I can't. No, that's
Oh,
not
no.
real.
I'm gonna say fuzzed. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fuzzed.
That's like
I
right
love
up there with the pig, though. So
I like
I'm,
that one.
you know,
Booger pickers.
The Harmonicats, Dolls, Dolls, Dolls.
That's real.
I'm gonna say real. Yeah.
unreal. Yeah, it's that. I'm saying real, but that's an unbelievable cover.
Yeah, that one's real. Last one, The Accused. They should have had red hair.
This is interesting because The Accused is a band, but I don't ever remember them putting out.
I'm gonna say it's real.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. It's gotta be fuzz. I don't think they
I'm
put
going
out
real.
This one's real. As far as I know, this is real. Maybe I should have looked it up, but pretty sure it's real.
Wow,
Remember that?
That was pretty great, man. That was very fun.
that's a
All right.
badass admit that
So
you
now I'm going to show you a few photos, and you got to make your own fuzzed album covers. First one.
Ooh,
Picking chickens.
smoke them if you got them,
that's a good one because he's smoking, or you could smoke the chicken.
right?
True.
Smoke 'em
Barbecued
up.
chicken.
Smoke them if you got them.
Grandpa.
I got it. I've been alive for a long time. Jesus, go get that beer, Riggs.
With a cat in the middle. Calling up.
Phoning home.
I'm going to date back to a record that I wanted to name. Did a record and I wanted to call it this, but we didn't have the artwork right. This should be Calling All Penguins.
Don't me scared.
They're just little aliens.
Right.
Penguins aren't real.
They are real.
What is that thing? Tickling the baby.
Ticklers.
Baby ticklers.
What would be the name
White
of the
Lion,
band?
baby ticklers.
What's the name of that
Whatever
band,
that
though?
band
Come on.
is.
What's a good
It's
metal name for them?
Right.
Oh wow.
Rapid Fire, Tickling the Baby.
Oh yeah, we're not coming up with band names for these.
Oh right, we have to come up with the band.
Well, you can do either one. Yeah, band names are good. This is the last one.
Hi.
Hi. Full Moon. No. Driving Miss Daisy. I am all right. I want to go do this right now with somebody sitting on a bar.
This record is called Why Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. The band has got to be
Full Moon Rising.
Full Moon Rising.
There you go.
You know, Peach and Regalia.
Oh, man.
God.
All right, that was real fuzzed.
All right.
So that's about all I got for you. I know that you guys have a lot of upcoming dates. I hope I can go see you guys in Chicago. Was that like October or September or something like that?
August.
August.
August? Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're with Hippie Death Cult, right? They're great. Would
Yeah.
love to go to Chicago to see you guys there. So hopefully I
And
can
at that
make that
point,
work.
you will have the all the power to you could go up and kiss everybody in the place because you have COVID now.
Right.
Just go licking door handles
Yeah, I hope
everywhere.
you feel better, man.
Yeah. So anything else that you guys want to tell everybody about? Plug anything? Upcoming album, June 3rd. Lots of tour dates coming up. Anything else?
Lots of race. Please come out and see us on the road, man. I mean,
If you're in Greece in early July, come see us,
we'll be there.
Or Germany.
or Germany.
Stone from the Underground in Germany will be there.
Mammoth Fest in north of
And
Thessaloniki.
everywhere in the United States in August, pretty much.
Yeah, with Hippie Death Cult. It
Do
should
a
be
huge tour,
fun for sure.
and Canada too. So yeah,
Yep.
that should be a good one.
Awesome.
Come check them guys out. Come support them. I mean, they're a younger band, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't
they're a new
I don't know.
band, yeah.
They're just telling me about these guys much. I didn't know.
Yeah. No, they just put an album out last year, I think, and it was great. I think they only have 2 albums, maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Drummer has the biggest touring drum set out of
So
any drummer
come
playing.
support them. Too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
for having us, man. Hope
Thanks
you
for
feel
being on.
All right.
Right on.
All right. Later.
See you, man.
Cheers.